Hello and welcome to the Fossil Huntress podcast. I hope you guys are all doing well. I was chatting with some folks earlier this week about fossils in the Vancouver area, and particularly the Cretaceous outcrops along Vancouver's North Shore. So I thought I would take you all there today. So close your eyes and fly with me over to North America, up to Canada to her far western shores. And we're going to head to Vancouver and then north to North Vancouver in the North Shore Mountains, where we can see the beautiful coast mountains and the Capilano River. I'm truly blessed to live in Vancouver in British Columbia. It's a spectacular mix of mountains and forests, lowlands, inlets and rivers, all lovingly wrapped by the deep blue of the Salish Sea. So for today's journey, you're going to join me. I'm going to start in Kitsilano and head through downtown, through Stanley Park and over the Lions Gate Bridge to the North Shore and to Capilano. So as we head there and we kind of peek in the center of the Lions Gate Bridge and we look to the north, you can see the coast mountains and a wee bit of the Cascades tucked in behind. And we can also see the Capilano Reservoir. So it's just between the Lions to the west and Mount Seymour to the east on Vancouver's North Shore. You may have hiked out to the Capilano Suspension Bridge or to the Capilano Reservoir. So it's that bounty of water that flows directly into your cup if you live in Vancouver. So if you look down from the reservoir, you see the Capilano River as it makes its way to the sea and enters Burrard Inlet. The Capilano River on Vancouver's North Shore flows through the Cascade Mountains and our coastal rainforest down to the Capilano watershed en route to Burrard. And the headwaters are at the very top of the Capilano, way up near Furry Creek. So they flow down through the valley, adding in rainwater and snow melt, and have many little tributaries contributing to them until they get down to the lake. And the lake in turn flows through the Capilano Canyon and feeds into the Capilano River. And the blessing for this is it slowly erodes the fossil outcrops there. As we walk through the North Shore Mountains and Capilano River, we can imagine walking back through time. So this area has changed much, but it was once the exclusive domain of the Coast Salish First Nations. So Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, but many things have changed since then, including the path of the Capilano River. The Capilano River's water levels, sediment deposits, and the salmon that used to spawn here have all been altered by our hands. And we have Ernest Albert Cleveland to thank for that, both for the loss of that salmon, but we can credit him with the fresh water that we drink from every cup, because it is caught and stored in a dam that bears his name. So the Cleveland Dam was his vision to capture the bounty of the watershed and ensure that it made its way into our cups and not the sea. Both the water levels and a good deal of sediment from the Capilano would flow directly into Burrard Inlet if they were not held back by the 91-meter concrete walls of the Cleveland Dam. So while it was not Ernest's intention, his vision and dam building had a secondary impact. In moving the mouth of the Capilano River, he altered the erosion pattern of the North Shore and unveiled a Cretaceous plant fossil outcrop that we know as the Three Brothers Formation. The fossil site is easily accessible from Vancouver and is best visited in the summer months when the water levels are low. So the level of preservation of the fossils are quite good. The state in which they are fossilized, however, was not ideal. So some of them are preserved as debris. So imagine the little eddies that gather along the edge of a stream or delta that kind of create mashed bits of plant. So some of them are found whole and some of them are mashed up. The Cretaceous species you find here are found only in the sandstone. So you'll see bits of exposed shale in the area, but these don't contain any fossil material. Interesting, but again not fossiliferous, there are many granitic and limestone boulders that look like they've been brought down by the glaciers from as far away as Texada Island. So they kind of speckle amongst the river rock. But again, you want to be looking in the sandstone. So the Cretaceous plant material and the matching modern flora found here are poplar, cottonwood, big leaf maple, alder, buttercup, red cedar, blackberry, and sword fern. If you would like to head to the Capilano fossil beds of the Three Brothers Formation, you can get there in pretty much any vehicle. You actually could take transit to this site from downtown Vancouver, drive north through Stanley Park and over the Lionsgate Bridge, take the North Vancouver exit towards the ferries, turn right onto Taylor Way, and then right again quite quickly at Clyde Avenue, Clyde, and look for the Park Royal Hotel. You can park anywhere along Clyde Avenue where it's legal to park. So from Clyde Avenue, walk down the path to your left towards the Capilano River, so it'll be just east of you. Watch the water level and tread cautiously as it could be quite slippery, particularly if there's been recent rain. And you want to look for the beds of sandstone. So they're about 200 meters north of the private bridge and just south of the highway bridge. So the fossil beds are just below the Whytecliff Apartment high rises. So again, be mindful of high water and slippery rocks. This is something that you could do as a family. I would check the water levels before bringing down a dog or anybody too young. So you want to make sure that they're safe and cared for. And the fossils here can be in orange or gray or beige matrix, and you should recognize some of the plant materials for what they are. So if you look around in a perfect world, this is actually perfect, the trees that grow around that river today are the same that you'll see embedded in the sandstone at your feet. So I hope you have a wonderful time out there, and if you do find something, do let me know and send me a note, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Take care. Bye bye now.